The Gungan ambassador. Padme was inspecting service droids in Watto's shop, worrying about the severity of their situation. How would they possibly be able to leave the desert planet of Tatooine? The last of their funds in the hands of a deranged Jedi who gambles it away on a whim? How could a child possibly win a pod race against some of the most notorious victors in the entire galaxy? All of this was racing through her head when she heard the child outside, attempting to get his pod engines to start, all the while contemplating if the service droids that Watto had for sale would be able to assist in other matters. She had been away from her home planet of Naboo for a few weeks now, and she had hardly any time to satisfy her female desires, much less the privacy to do so. She let out a long sigh when suddenly she heard a yelp from outside. It sounded like the strange native to her home planet from the Gungan tribe who had been a part of their journey. Although he was fairly clumsy, she couldn't help but notice his caring demeanor. She also had previously caught a glimpse of his plump sausage through his thin leather trousers one day while he was helping her wash space dishes. She had rather liked this strange Gungan, but didn't know what he thought of her. She had many times where she pleasured herself, imagining that it was the tongue of her new comrade. As her mind began to drift into obscurity, Jar Jar Binks stumbled into the room, clutching his tongue tightly. Padme was startled and gasped quietly.
"Misa Thawi,"
said Jar Jar.
"Misa zapped my tongue about the Hubbard."
"Oh my," said Padme. "Is there any way I can help?" she said, already opening one of the space med packs that Watto had in his store.
"Yes, please,"
said Jar Jar, his tongue still numb from the pod racer's electric shock. Padme opened a cold package from the medical supplies and examined the Gungan's tongue closely, finding the best approach to treat his wound. She leaned in closer to apply the bandage to his tongue when she felt one of Jar Jar's ear flaps brush against her supple breasts. She began turning more red and hoped the Gungan wouldn't notice her excitement at his touch. "It looks pretty bad," she said, gently caressing his tongue with the bandages.
"They all just laughed at me,"
Jar Jar said sadly.
"They thought it was funny when Misa got hurt."
"That's just cruel," Padme exclaimed. "I would never laugh at my friend like that." I don't know why I'm British.
"You want to be Misa's friend?"
Jar Jar said, perking up slightly. Padme smiled brightly at him.
"Of course. I already consider you one of my best friends."
She looked away from him, feeling the blood gathering her cheeks. "I really like you, Jar Jar."
"Misa really like you too."
Jar Jar's orange skin turned a slightly more red color than normal. Padme wondered if Gungans even blushed the same as humans. She wondered if they did other things the same as humans. "Jar Jar," she talked a little lower. She hesitated, wanting deeply to ask him a very serious question, but instead thought, Is your tongue feeling any better?"
"Well,"
Jar Jar focused on his tongue,
"it doesn't hurt none, but Misa can't tell if Misa can still taste."
Padme quickly thought of a test for him. She went to the counter where, of course, all respectable Tatooinians had fruit bowls full of space fruit, and took the first fruit she could grab and returned to the chair where Jar Jar was waiting. "Okay, Jar Jar," she said, sitting close to him. "Let's see if you can taste this." She held up the fruit. It was a space banana.
"That's a good idea,"
said Jar Jar. Jar Jar licked the fruit and pondered as to its taste.
"Misa got nothing."
"Let me try," said Padme before she realized.
"Oh no, Jar Jar, I forgot to peel it."
She felt embarrassed because she thought Jar Jar thought she looked retarded. She slowly began to remove the peel from the space banana when Jar Jar said,
"You're a very, very smart person."
Padme felt much better about herself. She had never met anyone quite like Jar Jar. How could she never have met him before, especially when she was living on the same planet, much less the same galaxy? As she thought this, she finished peeling the banana. "Jar Jar, just to test, I'll lick it first so we'll know for sure if you're feeling better." As she raised the banana to her lips, her eyes glanced downward towards the place where she previously caught a glimpse of the Gungan's mushroom. She licked the banana and saw Jar Jar's trousers move slightly. Could it be? Did he find her attractive? She had never seen a Gungan girl before, and thanks to George Lucas' shitty storytelling, neither will anyone else. Could he be attracted to a human like her? She then slowly inserted the whole banana into her mouth, and as Jar Jar watched her, he began to feel himself rising.
You
Jar Jar began to sweat.
think it tastes like it should?
Her eyes locked with his. She could feel the desire swelling inside him, but that's not the only thing she felt swelling as her hand found itself rubbing his now hard pulsing cock.
It does, but I want to taste another banana.